Okay, let's start with the big question. What if the reality we experience every day, the solid stuff, the world around us,
Yeah.
what if that's just like the surface? Today, we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating, quite poetic text. It's called loveisreality.txt by Russ McClay. And it's not just, a document. It feels more like a philosophical journey, really pushing us to rethink what real even means. So our mission here is to unpack the author's view on reality, this flow of existence, and ultimately what gets presented as the very nature of love itself. The text kind of guides us away from the everyday, tangible world towards something, well, something much more fundamental.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable how it pulls together different threads. You've got these sharp observations of nature, echoes of ancient wisdom, and then this careful deconstruction of what material actually means. So the idea for us and for you listening is to really trace how the author connects these seemingly separate ideas. It builds this picture where everything's, well, not just linked, but constantly moving.
Okay, right, let's get into it. The text literally starts with, love is reality. In all caps, exclamation points, big statement. But just before that, it talks about the ever waters of the eternal river. What's that imagery doing there? How does that set things up?
Well, the ever waters, that immediately pulls you into this metaphor, right? It's about the constant underlying flow of everything, existence itself, going beyond even the elements of the energy, as the text says. And then it immediately asks us to, know the Tao of life and who moves with it.
The Tao, okay, so ancient wisdom.
Exactly. But the author's twist here is framing the Tao not just as some abstract concept, but as this almost instinctive rhythm, something foundational that, interestingly, children just naturally grasp.
That's interesting. So there's this natural pulse to the universe, the flowing of love, which the ancients knew, and little kids who are, quote, close to Mother Earth, they just feel it.
Yeah, they see life as fun and enlightenment, according to the text, because they haven't been crystallized by the dogmatic impressions.
The world of total imprint. I like that phrase. So if kids have this innate wisdom, how does the text suggest we, as adults, kind of get back to that? How do we shed those imprints?
Right, and that's where the text lays out a kind of progression. It talks about the excellence of knowledge, then wisdom, then the DAO, and eventually reaching the perfection of the vision and the diamond clarity of the mind. But crucially, it points out this clarity comes after many teary years.
So it's not easy. It implies struggle, right?
Hey,
Like you have to
Heck,
actively work to undo those layers.
precisely, a deliberate unlearning process to really see, as it says, through it all with the life and light of the universe.
And amidst that journey, that quest for total inspiration, the text suddenly calls Earth a spaceship that glides along unnoticed by its inhabitants. That's quite a shift in perspective. Why frame our planet that way?
It really challenges our idea of home as something static, doesn't it? A spaceship immediately makes you think of journey, of movement. It emphasizes that existence is movement, that we're part of this ongoing dynamic unfolding. That's why the story never gets old, because we're in it, loving it.
Right, constantly moving, participating, hopefully with original creativity.
Exactly, living in the refreshing light of original creativity.
So if we're meant to live creatively on this spaceship, the text also acknowledges, the tough stuff, the breaking some bones, spilling a little blood. But then right after that, it says we realize it as illusion. That word illusion feels really significant here. How does the author define that? It doesn't mean the pain isn't felt, does it?
No, not at all. And that's a really key distinction the text makes. It clarifies illusion in the sense that it appears real. It's not denying the experience. Instead, it's questioning the fundamental nature of that experience. The source argues material is not ultimately material.
Okay, so starting to break down what material even is.
Right. It goes into it. Material is, on one level, atoms which are spinning at high velocity. It's using physics, but really it's arguing for this fundamental fluidity, challenging that feeling of solid reality we have.
It's like peeling back layers then. You go
Yeah.
from solid stuff to atoms spinning. Where does it go from there? Towards energy.
Exactly. The text says atoms are not atoms, ultimately. They are electrical charges going through the dance. And then electricity is not electricity, ultimately. They are pure energy.
Pure energy, is that the end point?
Almost. The text adds another layer. It says, energy is deception without realizing the light, suggesting energy itself needs context.
Light. Okay. And what is light according to this text?
This is the final crucial connection. Light, it states, is but the focus, primary level of love, divine love.
Wow. So all the layers, the material, the atoms, the energy, the light, it all leads back to define love.
That's the ultimate realization presented in the text, that every level of existence, what feels so solid and separate, is ultimately a manifestation of love.
Which brings us right back to that opening statement.
Precisely. Love is reality. It's presented not just as an idea, but as the conclusion of this whole unpacking of existence.
So just to recap where we've journeyed with this text, we started with the Tao of life, that intuitive wisdom seen in little children. Then we moved to the need for deep work, those many teary years, to achieve diamond clarity of the mind. And that clarity reveals that the material world, while it appears real, is kind of an illusion in that specific sense. If you break it down, you get to pure energy.
Which then connects to light.
And light is ultimately defined as divine love.
Yeah, synthesizing that core message. The text is really emphatic that love is reality, not just, a nice feeling or a concept, but the actual foundational stuff of everything. The implication is pretty profound. It suggests the world isn't just inert matter. It's this vibrant dance of energy, and the deepest level of that dance, its primary focus, is love.
So, thinking about this, what does this actually mean for you, living your life day to day on, as the text calls it, old planet Earth?
Yeah.
How might holding this idea that love is the ultimate reality and the material world is an illusion in that specific sense actually change how you see things?
Well, that's the final thought to leave you with, perhaps. If life is meant to be lived in the refreshing light of original creativity, and if everything, even the struggles, the breaking some bones, is part of this larger unfolding that leads back to love, how might embracing that view actually shift how you engage with your own existence? Even right here on this spaceship Earth, gliding along, it's definitely something to ponder.